one. Mr. Grinch, you really are a fuck. You're a scumbag and a piece of shit, and your wife's a gutter slut. Mr. Grinch. That's all I got.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, I just kind of made that up on my way over here.
It was nice.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Fit together.
Merry Christmas.
I don't know that he's married, but she can't be great.
She can't. I mean,
he's a
kind of marries the one lady at the end of the movie, but
does he? I don't remember.
The Jim Carrey version. It's my favorite
I
Christmas
haven't seen
movie.
that.
So
yeah, I've heard a lot. That's been getting a lot of heat online.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. People fucking hate it.
Oh, really?
It's getting a lot of overrated stuff. But it's probably people of my age that it's the cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
The cartoon.
The cartoon's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love the cartoon.
You're
it's actually
the age
perfect.
group of the Jim Carrey.
Yes.
I don't know. How old was you when that came out?
5.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, I went to the theaters to see it. Like I remember
that's
going.
what you
to
grew up on.
Yeah.
Like my era, we grew up on the cartoon.
Well, I mean, I remember watching the cartoon. It was always on TBS, and there's that fucking half hour that it is, but still good.
Yeah.
I mean, the Grinch is creepier in that cartoon than Jim Carrey is.
Right. Like, I was old enough when that movie came out to remember watching the interviews with him about how horrible it was to make that.
Yeah, with all the makeup and stuff like that.
It's like 6 hours of makeup and then the contacts that he had to wear. And
it was like, he said like the suit was like 60 pounds.
Yeah. And he'd had something like, it was like he had some Navy SEALs or whatever, some retired Navy SEALs that were teaching him like torture techniques to like get through the day and not freak out.
Yeah, because they said it was like suffocating, like the mask and stuff, because it was like pushing his nose down or something.
And then you look back at it and go, hey, like CGI exists now, and they just like you don't have to do any of that.
You don't have to do any of that, buddy.
Nothing.
Well, I forget what the one dude.
5 years from now, they won't even need actors anymore.
Yeah, exactly. That one dude, tall, skinny guy. I don't remember his name. Pete Davidson, you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Said he was going to get all of his tattoos removed because he's tired of the makeup.
And they showed the shirtless pic of him, like,
wow,
dude, that's a lot of tattoos.
That's a lot of tattoos.
And
it can't be healthy.
From what I've heard, it is so painful.
Yeah.
To get them removed.
It can't be. It can't be worth it to not just sit in the makeup chair for a couple hours.
And that's one of those ones of, hey, be you, man. You do the tattoos. If they don't want them, fuck off.
Yeah,
Find somebody else.
Because it doesn't seem
it's
like...
not like you make great movies anyways.
Well, it's not like he makes a lot of movies. I think he's been in like 3.
And he's not... I like Pete Davidson. But I don't watch Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, me either.
Because, along with the rest of the country.
Yeah.
That doesn't watch it. But it doesn't seem like he's in a lot of the stuff.
No.
And it's not great. Like he does the Weekend Update where he just shits on people.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
You're a comedian. That's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
But the rest of the stuff, it's like, all right, well.
Yeah, because
I don't
know. Yeah.
Now he's banging every hot chick.
Yeah.
All of them.
Must be hung.
That's the word, is he's got piece on him.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
He's got the body style to have a piece on him.
Lanky and skinny and weird and socially awkward.
Super big penis then.
Yeah.
Because those are all the intangibles you need to have one.
That or a fantastic soccer player, apparently.
Yeah. Say, what's his face? He's a fucking horse down there. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's how we started off with the Grinch on to penis talk.
That's what we do here at Wideside.
It's also Festivus.
Yep, Festivus. Yep. Happy Festivus.
Get your poll out.
Festivus for the rest of us. I guarantee.
Air your grievances.
I guarantee.
I'm sure we're going to do that today.
Air our grievances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I don't have a ton of them.
Me either.
But I have some things to say about that.
Go ahead. Just go ahead.
Go with what you were going to say.
I had nothing. I was going to feed off what you said just to see how it was going to go.
Oh. Gotcha.
Go ahead.
You just want to start with the playoff?
Jump in, yeah.
I'm okay with it.
Okay.
I know a lot of people are pissed off.
Yeah.
There was only one spot up for grabs.
Mm-hmm.
You can bitch and moan all you want. Anybody. It was always going to be Ohio State unless they got beat.
Yeah.
Say whatever you
always
want.
Was.
And then if you want to bitch and moan about the Texas A&M thing, and Texas A&M doesn't have that much of a gripe. They can have a little bit of an argument, but it doesn't hold water.
Yeah.
Notre Dame got housed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Texas A&M got housed by Alabama worse than Notre Dame got housed by Clemson.
Yes.
Notre Dame also has a win over Clemson. I understand it's without Trevor Lawrence, but it's a better win than anything
you have
that they have.
Yeah.
And then they say, well, if Notre Dame got in, that's fine, but Ohio State only played 6 games. Okay. The strength of record statistic or strength of win, which is, I assume they just add up shit.
Yeah.
With 8 games, Texas A&M's strength of win is 28.
Yeah.
With 6 games, Ohio State's is 24. So Texas A&M played fucking nobody. And you can say SEC all you want.
Yeah, exactly.
The SEC sucks dick this year.
Yeah, it does.
Granted, they just gave us maybe the best game of the year.
Yeah.
With Florida making that comeback.
That was nice.
And it was on its way to being an ass stomping.
I was like, oh, man, here we go. And then nothing. But, yeah, you're right, though. I mean, other than the fact that I was happy to see Florida compete.
Right.
Because it makes...
Well, it's something to watch.
Exactly.
Stay up till midnight.
That, and it shows you that, one, Alabama, it could be gettable if you could get some stops. Because it didn't seem like Florida had like 3 stops.
The team, what Florida showed, is Clemson can get Alabama.
Oh, yeah. For sure they can get Alabama.
Now, after watching Justin Fields, Ohio State can't get Alabama.
No.
Not the way he's playing.
I was going to talk about that in a second, but to tag off of what you're saying about the playoffs, I'm good with the 2.
Yeah.
I thought... last week when they came out with the rankings and Ohio State was 4th or whatever they were last week, I was like, oh, they're in.
Yeah.
Because if they weren't going to be in, they would have put them at 5th last week.
Yeah, they would have moved them a week ago.
Out. And then that would have gave us a hint that they're probably not getting in. But they kept them in the top 4, so you just had to assume that they were going to be in the top 4. And then once Notre Dame lost, you figured that they're going to be 3 or 4, depending on however they made their decision. But Notre Dame, cool with it. You're going to get in. Good for you. I have the issue still that everybody in the country has of jumping Oklahoma all the way up to 6.
I have a problem with that, too.
I just have a huge issue. Don't get me wrong. And they're right. Oklahoma has been playing very well these last 4 or 5 weeks. That's great. Cincinnati is undefeated.
Yeah.
They have a top 5 defense in the entire country.
Yeah.
Oklahoma has no defense. No defense whatsoever. Cincinnati's offense is very good as well. I mean, they're not a top 5, but they're very good as well. They're very capable of scoring points. And they're undefeated with a conference. I understand Oklahoma won their conference, but Cincinnati's undefeated with a conference championship under their belt. Who gives a fuck if they're 6? Put them at 6.
Right.
Put them at 6.
Because it
means
doesn't
nothing.
matter.
It means nothing to anybody when you're outside the top 4.
No.
It means nothing. So put them at 6. There's no big deal. You're throwing Oklahoma a bone because they're in a Power 5.
Right. And that I'm going to piggyback off of that. Of that's all Luke Fickell was asking for.
Yeah.
He didn't say put me in.
No.
He said, we just want a chance.
Yeah.
We just want to be looked at. And by ranking them 8 means you never even fucking looked at them.
No, you didn't.
That there was never a chance.
No.
You never had a thought. And then you went out and proved it by putting a 2-loss Oklahoma team. And
then the 3-loss Florida team. I get it that they played Alabama tough, but they have 3 losses.
And one of them was to LSU.
One of them was LSU, who's 5-5. Since that, they just should have jumped them. I'm not so sure the last 2 games that each one of those teams has played, Cincinnati's looked like the better team in Ohio.
Right.
I mean, I'm not saying
Absolutely.
that. I'm not saying that Ohio State would lose to them. I'm just saying they have looked like the better team in Ohio.
Right.
They've played more complete games. Ohio State hasn't played 4 quarters yet. They haven't played a complete game. They've played a pretty decent 2 quarters or so, maybe a third, but they have not put together an entire game.
Yeah.
And it's going to come back and bite them in the ass if they don't get their shit together when they play Clemson and get housed by 3 scores.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a 2-score game, to be honest with you, after what I saw.
State, yeah.
I think Clemson's going to get them by at least 2 scores after what I saw last week. They're just playing ridiculous. Trevor Lawrence is, you can say, playing like a guy who's pissed off. I mean, he just come out and just started slinging it.
And Justin Fields, the last 2 times you've seen him,
he's been average.
Has played like a guy that's no longer the second pick in the draft.
Nope.
He might not be the second quarterback taken in the draft now.
I mean, he almost looks like he's playing scared.
Yeah.
It's what it looked like. He's almost like he's afraid to make a mistake. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, oh man, should I throw it now? You know, like he's second guessing himself because he doesn't want to make those mistakes. He doesn't want to have those interceptions. And then he holds the ball so goddamn long to get sacked.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? So I think he just calm down, relax. And
that was
do your thing.
Watching the game with my brother, and that's like our talk between each other, and weren't even really talking to each other.
Just talking out loud.
As more of it was and this is before the second half.
Mm-hmm.
Well, midway through the third quarter when they just started pounding the ball.
Yeah.
But through the first half and everything, it was just every series going, we're averaging 6 yards a carry.
Yeah.
Stop throwing it on every play.
Yeah. So if you want to do that, that's fine, but you're running. I'm not saying in that situation it was a good idea to keep passing the ball because they were gashing them on the run. But stop throwing it deep so many times. Hit your outs, your slants, even a couple digs here and there because they were playing a cover 2, so your middle of the field, that 12 to 15 yard middle of the field's wide open.
Right.
Some crossing routes because they did that in the first quarter and were moving the ball. They didn't score, but they were moving the ball down the field. Then it was kind of like, oh shit, now we're down 10-6 or 10-3, whatever we were. We got to score now. And it's like, no, just chill.
And Day gets into that a little bit where it's like every play he calls has to go for a 60-yard touchdown.
Yeah,
like,
and I get I like the aggressiveness, but at some point in time, it's like you got to check yourself. Okay, let's just do what's working.
But take a note down at Alabama with the guys that you have also of they get a lot of 60-yard touchdowns on 10-yard passes.
Exactly. Let your athletes do your thing.
And when they broke down some of the routes and stuff during the Alabama, they're fucking things of beauty.
Oh, I know.
Their route combination of how guys come wide open of like,
perfect.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
perfect.
Yeah, the Ohio State thing, I think with Clemson, I think Clemson beats them. Now, a couple weeks ago, I was thinking, the way it's going is I can see Ohio State win the whole damn thing. But now I can't.
No, I can't
because
either.
Their defense is not
atrocious.
good, and their offense is looking
getting worse.
Shitty.
Getting shitty. They've really. I was surprised because the run game was absolutely garbage in those first 5 games.
Right.
Absolutely atrocious.
And now it's good.
You finally get Trey Sermon going. I don't think Master Teague is what everybody thought he was.
I don't think so either.
He's built like Eddie George, but he's as slow as a lineman.
Yeah.
There's no burst. There's no Eddie George speed there.
I think what they. And you can't discredit how well they ran because I think most people can say, yeah, Northwestern's not to their caliber.
No.
But the one thing Northwestern does is they make tackles and they stop the run.
Yeah, that's what they do.
That's kind of what they do.
That's what they're built on.
So the one thing Ohio State has going for them is if that run game is legit like that.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence can't score if he's not on the fucking field.
Yeah.
That's kind of
what it's going.
It's kind of where you're at.
Yeah, and I think we've seen Clemson's defense is gettable.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen that. We've seen them have some issues with that, but they looked solid against Notre Dame. Granted, Notre Dame doesn't do really anything fancy or anything like that, but there's still a chance because it's still Ohio State. It's still
you don't know.
You don't
They've
know.
only played 6 games.
Exactly. So, but yeah, you're right. My prediction would probably Clemson would beat them.
I don't know what the line is. I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen that yet.
I'm sure it's under 2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
but if it's under 2 touchdowns, I would take Clemson.
Mm-hmm. I believe that it is 10.
Yeah, that seems low.
Yeah,
just from what we've seen from Ohio State, that seems low.
7.5.
That's way low. I would jump all over Clemson right now on that.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's really low.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you one thing too. It not having Chris Olave out there made a huge difference.
You didn't have a security blanket, man.
When you have a sophomore and then a bunch of freshmen, that's a difference maker.
It is.
Because the one freshman kept dropping the ball, and then and here's the thing: the Justin Fields thumb thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand that. If that's what's happening, and that's why you were sailing the ball, because every one of his passes was freaking high.
Yeah.
But are we going into another playoff where it's this nagging injury, and if we get beat, it's because I'm hurt?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that shit gets old.
Like,
just own it.
What do you have? What's really going on here?
Are you sucking, or are you? But they talked about the fucking thumb thing in like the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
It was like,
because it
wasn't brought up.
Did it happen before?
Yeah.
Or did it happen during the game? Because at no point did he throw the ball worth of shit during the game.
No.
So
I don't get that either. And the one thing, and we were going to talk about this being Buckeye fans, at this moment in time, were you as upset as I was that Trey Sermon broke Eddie George's single game record?
No.
You weren't?
No.
I was upset because I'm like, this dude's a graduate transfer. He's not, Eddie George is a Buckeye.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's where, good for the kid. Good job. I mean, I'm not trying to take anything away from him, but it's like, it's Eddie George.
I wasn't, because if the guy didn't, we couldn't win the game.
Lose,
I mean,
yeah, but that's the way I'm like, man, this guy's going to be on there, and he's just he's a graduate. That's just more the way I looked at it. I'm like, Eddie George is a Buckeye.
And I don't know if he's an NFL guy.
Sermon?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
well, but here's the thing, because like this year doesn't count.
Mm-hmm.
So like he can play again next year at like 29 years old or whatever he is. I mean, I don't know, but that's kind of nice.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't. Oh man, I feel closer to their first matchup in the playoff against Clemson than I do to last year's matchup.
Yeah,
when it was just an ass stomping.
Yeah, you're right. I'm with you on that one. I mean, it seems like Dabo just absolutely hates Ohio State.
100%.
And I don't know
if he's just trying to get a thing going, knowing that, hey, it's going to be us, Alabama, and Ohio State, because that's the only teams that can make the playoff.
Yeah, I don't know if he's trying to get that thing, but it seems like he just fucking
rated
hates
them
them.
11th in the coaches poll.
Yeah, and then it's just like, they shouldn't be in, they only play this. I'm like, okay, I get that. I 100% get that. You guys were out there playing this many games.
Right.
But it's not Ohio State's fault.
It's not their fault. The Big Ten is incompetent.
The Big Ten is an idiot as a whole. They're idiots. And that's just the way that their cards fell.
Right.
It's not like Ohio State was like, oh, yeah, we only have to play 6 games. We still get in. It's not like they were thinking that. They would have. Right. I'm sure they would have loved to play their whole schedule, I don't know. That's the way I look at it. I'm like, you guys are acting like Ohio State chose this,
right,
and wants this.
Yeah,
like no, you don't think they wanted to play Michigan? You don't think they wanted to play Maryland and whomp their? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand that to be fresher, it's a good thing with less injuries, which I don't know what's going on because they're missing so many players, but you don't know why they're missing so many players.
Yeah,
but
you only know of one.
But the fact that you had 2 fall practices.
Yeah.
And then you were off.
Yep.
And then you started your season late. Mm-hmm. So you really didn't have any practices.
No.
I think they would have rather played 8 or 9 games.
Yeah.
Just to kind of get something going.
Get going. I mean, they haven't played 2 games in back-to-back weeks in a month.
No.
So, and they're not going to now.
No.
They're going to get however many days.
And I understood the Dabo thing when he first, and I listened to that whole interview.
Uh-huh.
He didn't just offer that up. I mean, Rich Eisen kind of pushed him into a corner on that one.
Yeah.
And he never said Ohio State, but I mean, come on.
It's the only team that's in with 6 wins.
I understood that because that's pre-Notre Dame game.
Uh-huh.
And if they get beat, he has to have something out there already. Well, these guys aren't even playing games. We're playing a top 4 team twice.
Twice, yeah. Which he has a good argument with that. I mean,
100% would.
100%. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that one.
But then after the fact of like, well, who are you?
Yeah.
Who are you saying this stuff for now?
Uh-huh.
Because, like, are you for Texas A&M? I mean, like, what ties do you have to You went to Alabama, for crying out loud. I mean
it doesn't make any sense. We can talk about the other game now because there's not much to talk about with that one. But
yeah, that was exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a precursor to a worse one next week.
Yeah, I think Alabama is going to absolutely murder them. Absolutely murder them.
Gonna be bad.
Yeah, and this is tough to say because they've already been in there twice now, but and Ohio State has been trounced a couple times.
Right.
I don't see Notre Dame getting back in.
It's tough.
I just don't. I think this year they really got a lot of credit for playing
in a league
and playing Clemson twice.
Right.
I think they really whoever it is, committee, whoever in the country even, they gave them a little bit more credit this year. Granted, they play ACC teams, but they don't play quality ACC teams.
Right. Yeah, because Clemson's not on their schedule every year.
No. I mean, so I just don't see them getting in for a while. Not saying that they won't unless they, get some studs coming in. But it's hard to recruit. It's hard to have recruits come to Notre Dame.
Now, granted, they just because of who they are, they would get in. But if Ohio State goes in and gets knocked out and ass stomped again,
it'd be tough to put them in.
Because people are going to forget about the game last year, about the fumble and then the roughing the passer.
Yeah.
And then just a miscue on the last play in the end zone.
Uh-huh.
They're going to forget about that and go, Well, Clemson's beaten them 3 times in a row.
Exactly.
I mean,
yeah. Why are we
when
putting
the
them
fuck
back
are they
in?
in there?
Yeah, and then you're going to keep getting what Ohio State has been getting for many years now is they can't win the big game.
Yeah, can't win the big game.
Can't win the big game.
That's what's coming.
It is.
And I don't know that anybody's beating Alabama right now.
No.
So it doesn't
Could
really
you imagine
matter.
how much more explosive that offense would be if Waddle was still playing?
Oh my God. And that's the bad thing is a first round draft pick is not playing.
And they had just a backup coming in and just do just as well.
Yeah.
Doing just as well. It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. My favorite part about Alabama is everybody talks about all these recruits and this and that and this and that and oh, this guy's a 5-star, this guy's going there, this guy's going there. Alabama had the number 1 recruiting class last week.
Yeah.
And you didn't hear a fucking thing about it.
No. Well, where we live is
I get
a
that,
lot of that.
But I get updates a lot
Yeah.
about even from people that aren't really any good.
Right.
You know, I heard more about that dude decommitting from Georgia and going to Jackson State than I did anybody that Alabama's getting.
I think because you don't hear a lot about Clemson either.
I hear a ton about Clemson. I get a lot of like that Bleacher Report app.
Yeah.
They're very, very, very in depth with it. So anytime that there's a stud area, so I see a lot of Clemson stuff, and they have quarterbacks galore coming in.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Kind of like how Ohio State and receivers right now.
Exactly.
And quarterbacks. To be honest with you.
Yeah. But they're just pouring them in. Them and defensive linemen. It's like those are the best 2 things that they recruit because they're getting a ton of them coming in.
I think like Ohio State. I want to say, with that commit they got, is like the 3rd straight 5-star quarterback they've signed in
something like
3
that.
years in a row.
Yeah.
Then I'd seen a freshman wide receiver just entered the transfer, which I haven't seen him on the field, so it must not matter.
Have you seen that statistic of people who transfer?
No.
So it's like 20. It's less than 25% actually play college football again.
Yeah.
It's because there was a stat. It was like 50% of the kids who enter the transfer portal don't actually go to a college that they think they're going to get into, or they go lower than what they are wanting, and it's like 25% end up actually playing again.
Yeah, because a lot of it is because like the Justin Fields is an anomaly.
Yeah,
and he was higher rated than anybody.
Yeah,
besides Trevor Lawrence that year, but a lot of them are like the Tate Martells.
Yeah,
and like this receiver that Mookie, I don't remember what his last name is, but like. You're leaving probably either one you had a problem in the program like you did something or they're asking you to leave, or you couldn't get on the field this year and there's a whole shit ton of 5-star receivers coming in again next year that you don't think you can beat.
Pretty much
because there's another 5-star that hadn't seen the field yet this year that was supposed to be the stud.
And I hate the transfer portal because
I'm okay with it.
I look at it as a fact of we're almost teaching the players to quit and not compete in a way. And it's not blatant, you know what I'm saying? But just like this kid, he's got a lot of 5-stars. Am I going to get to play? You may not be as talented as them, but there's other places on the field where you can contribute to that team.
Yeah.
There's 4 different special teams. There's ask the switch, you know what I'm saying? There's things that you can do. Not transfer. And maybe you don't want to be there anymore, like you said.
And I understand that, but to your point, making that of the guy that's not looking at it that way, you don't even want him anyways.
Yes.
So let him go.
Yeah, no, and I'm with you on that one.
I mean,
Tate Martell, what he was going to probably
he was never going to play.
He was probably going to be a pain anyway. He was probably going to bitch. And
he already was kind of a pain.
Kind of, yes. And I'm okay with those, but I don't know. We have a whole portal of a transfer portal now. That is just,
I think it's at that point, like you can go once. I think that's kind of what it's come to is you can go once. And then after that.
Now, I don't know.
I'm okay with it, mainly for the fact that you don't, if you don't have to have, you hire a fucking lawyer and,
Yeah.
Mainly for the Michigan situation.
Okay.
Hey, who's your head coach?
Yeah.
Haven't signed that fucking contract yet.
Yeah.
I did see they fired their defensive coordinator today or yesterday.
Michigan did?
Yeah.
They fired what's his face? Don Brown.
Yeah. But Harbaugh hadn't signed that contract yet.
Yeah.
You just signed a recruiting class.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one. I get, and I understand the different parts.
Guys are starting to enter the portal up there of like, hey, you get. I mean, we had to sign our lives away to you, but it doesn't come back the other way.
Yeah, and I that way I completely get it in that situation. But it just seems like you don't hear about that part of it. You only hear about what we just talked about of the and it seems like, oh, well, I can't compete, I can't play, so I'll just go somewhere else.
Yeah. For the most part, I think most guys that transfer out, usually they're a problem. Here's the way I see it. Usually they're a problem or homesick. Yeah. Hey, man, I'm transferring, so I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like we'll just use Ohio State as a thing. You were a 3 or a 4-star.
Yeah.
You accepted that just because you got an offer from Ohio State. And you never really thought about, can I play there? But I just want to go there.
Yeah. Yeah. And some people are okay with that.
Yeah.
And others aren't. And like I said,
I mean, same with Alabama and Clemson. And like, you know, if you were a defensive end for a nice little run there in Clemson, I don't give a fuck how good you are. You come in here as a freshman, you ain't playing.
Yeah, exactly.
There's the first draft pick. There's the second draft pick. I mean, it's just.
Yeah. And I get it. I really do. And I would, as a person, if I'm in that situation, I would have a hard time accepting it.
Right.
But I'm also the one to probably just go ahead and still stick it out just to see.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to, am I that good?
Right.
Maybe not, but I can compete with those guys. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you can compete and be on that team because if you're not good enough to play, now, granted, you can go to some other schools, but at that point in time, you're probably at a non-Power 5 school.
Yes, exactly.
Which I'm going to reel that back around to our playoff discussion.
Okay.
So I like Joel Klatt.
Uh-huh.
He puts out stuff on YouTube and stuff. Watch him all the time. Insightful. I've always been an 8-team guy.
Yeah.
Playoff-wise.
Yeah.
Joel Klatt has always been 4-team. Wasn't really even happy that they went to 4-team because he's an old school
BCS guy.
Not even BCS, bowl game guy.
Yeah.
Well, he changed his tune this week, and I watched his discussion on it, and I agree. And his point being is he was a bowl guy. Bowls mean nothing now.
Yeah.
They mean nothing. If you're not in the playoff with a chance to win a national championship.
Winning the bowl game means nothing.
That's why guys opt out if they're not in the playoff. Hey, I'm going to the NFL. Fuck this. Nobody watches them.
Yeah. Exactly.
There's no money.
There's no money. You may get like a PlayStation at the PlayStation Bowl.
So he's for expansion now. And not to 8 teams.
Oh, to 16?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I kind of agree with him. And here's the thought process on that is in the history, and this is, I'm using all his stats, so if they're wrong, you know, be pissed at him. In the history of the college football playoff, there's only 6 teams that have won a game. All the talent in college football is at the top. Yep. There's only a handful of schools. Now, this is what he said. I can fact check this yourself because I didn't fact check it. I just took it as what it is. Is last week on recruiting, the top 6 teams were the 6 teams that have won a playoff game. Followed by the 7th team with teams that have been there, like Notre Dame. So all the class is going to people who are in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So
we're never not getting those teams in.
And then, that's just basically what you've taken is, and I like how he said it. He goes, this is not a playoff. This is a Power 5 conference invitational. Yeah. That's all it is. Let's not sell it as anything else.
Yeah, exactly.
And the point being is what we talked about earlier, Cincinnati at 8. That means that an undefeated conference champion in a Division I fucking school didn't even get talked about. That means they didn't even get talked about, which means it's a sham. It's a bullshit playoff. It's an invitational for Power 5 conferences. So his thought process is we need to be like the NCAA tournament. Okay. Where it's such a big deal to make the tournament for smaller schools. Hey, look,
we made the tournament this year.
We're a small school, but we make the tournament. And we got to win a couple years ago, of that, of let a Cincinnati in there. Are they going to get ass stomped by Alabama?
Probably, yeah. But doesn't everybody?
But they made it. You know, that's the whole point of you have to give them something they can sell to recruits to
almost
the big
even
boys
the
are
score.
Always going to be the big boys.
But to almost even the score.
But you're going to disperse some stuff out a little bit.
Yeah.
Even you're going to disperse it out amongst the big boys.
Yeah.
Because maybe Auburn can recruit with Alabama now if they can make the fucking playoffs all the time for the most part. Now, you know, granted, they'll get a new coach.
They
I seen somewhere. Who did they?
Yeah, Boise State's coach, Brian Harsin.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll probably fail, but, you know, Boise State shit, that ship has sailed. I mean.
I hate the. I shouldn't say I hate the. And go ahead and finish your conversation, then I'll go on this.
But, you know, that gives other. You know.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, like Florida would be in, and Texas A&M would be in.
Yeah. Number one, more people would watch those games.
Well, and that comes to the other part. Is one unnamed university is going to lose $82 million this year in revenue because of football.
Yeah.
Well, take a look at the NFL.
Yeah.
Shake the fucking money tree. The only thing you have is a playoff.
Yeah, and then they add another team.
And then don't just sell your single naming right to fucking ESPN of like, hey, do it like the NFL. You're going to get this leg of it, this leg of it. Where it's going to be on Fox, it's going to be on NBC, it's going to be on CBS, it's going to be on ABC and ESPN.
Well, I mean, even take the March Madness, take the NCAA basketball tournament. There's like 7 different channels that the games play on.
Yeah, do it all.
Yeah.
It just makes sense. It's got to go there sooner than later.
Yeah.
It's going to expand quickly because
of
the revenue shortfall this year. They're going to realize hey, what the fuck? But
it's going to go to 6, and then it's going to go to 8, and then we're just going to keep every couple of years they're just going to add 1 or 2 more teams.
And
I mean,
the way I see it is they always say, well, they're going to be playing too many games. Well, let's just get rid of one of the regular season games, like the horse shit game Alabama plays before Auburn every year.
I know.
Maybe that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And you can't bitch and moan about that because Alabama can lose that game and still get the fuck in.
Yeah, exactly.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, or take a note out of this year's. Play one non-conference game
and
then just go with your conference. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm like on the non-conference thing, especially when it gets to that big, because I want to see. Kind of like in the basketball, the Big Ten, ACC.
Yeah, like
I want to see that in college football.
Yeah,
I want to see the Big Ten and the SEC play. You know, let's make that happen. But, you know, and then to the other people. Well, if you put this many people in, I mean, the regular season doesn't fucking matter anymore. It doesn't matter now.
No.
It doesn't matter now.
No, obviously Cincinnati
Notre Dame got ass stomped last fucking week and got into the playoff.
Yeah, and Cincinnati did everything they possibly could to try to get in, and they did not.
So your own argument of, well, it's going to water down the rates, doesn't fucking matter now.
No.
The NFL just added one more team to each goddamn conference.
Yeah.
Regular season's amazing. Setting records with viewers.
Exactly.
Figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah. It's but, you make you and Joel Klatt make a good point. I hadn't listened to that.
Yeah, it's his point.
Yeah.
None of me.
Yeah.
I just happen to agree with it.
Yeah.
Because I'd been one that never really thought about the 16 team. I'd just been in, let the 8 in.
Yeah.
But 16, hey, that's fine.
Yeah.
The fucking first number 1 ends up playing
16.
I think Iowa.
Yeah.
Alabama would be against Iowa. Or however they obviously would seed it different.
Yeah.
Basically, Alabama would be playing Coastal Carolina right now. I was like, well, who wants to see that ass stomping? Coastal Carolina does.
Exactly.
Because they get a big fucking check. And they got to go, hey, we're Coastal Carolina.
Yeah.
And we made it into the playoffs.
And we played Alabama.
Yeah.
Because they could make the same argument. Because Jimbo Fisher's making that argument, getting beat by 28 by him, and we still played him.
Yeah.
We still played him.
Yeah.
So, you know.
So that's.
Exactly.
That's the whole deal.
And I'm with you with that. And I personally like that because I am a huge fan of the NCAA tournament, the basketball tournament. I watch almost every game that I can. So then you're going to tell me that, it's my favorite sport now gets to do that? Yeah. So, I'm all in on that too. I mean, I'm definitely an expanded person. Never really thought about the 16 teams, but why the fuck not?
But if it helps out, if it makes it.
Yeah.
I mean, now, because now for a lot of teams, well, for the 3 teams we've talked about, Ohio State, Clemson, Alabama in every fucking year. At a 16-team playoff, they're just in every fucking year.
Yeah.
That's the way it is. But chances are they were going to be in anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
yeah. So to get back to the point of the coaching thing, so Auburn hired Boise State's coach.
Yeah.
I just have an issue. Not that I'm not saying that this guy is not a good coach because I didn't really pay attention to Boise State.
Who does?
I don't know anything about this guy. I have a really difficult time with a team like Auburn, who has a name, has money, has competed in the past, hiring somebody like this guy who may not even be proven yet.
Right.
He's at Boise State. He may have turned Boise State around. He may have got them a few more wins, but that is a completely different level than what you're going to go be in Auburn.
No.
Completely different. And there has been plenty of people you could go after. You know what I'm saying? If you're Auburn, you can throw money at them. You have money.
Well, you sure do, because you just wrote a $20 million check to fire the last coach.
Exactly. And I have an issue with that hire. Not that guy specifically, but that type of hire of, okay, we're going to bring in this guy. He's, I don't know if he's young or not, but he's fiery. He's built this program up. Okay, your program's already built up. You're fucking Auburn. You just need somebody to come in there and...
That program was already built up because Chris Peterson did that.
Yes, but
and he's doing real well at his big boy job.
But you're fucking Auburn. You're in the SEC. You compete every year with some of the top teams in college football. You need a guy who's going to continue to do that. Now, again, no disrespect to this guy because I don't fucking know who he is. But that's my point of go out there and find you somebody who's already knows how to do that and has already done it in the past and then run with it. Because you still get recruits. You still get good players.
Yeah.
It's just you have to do something with those players. And I'm not sure that this guy knows how to do that because it's Boise State,
Well, that's what I'd say with Auburn is they should be. You're not a program that hires, hey, we found a guy.
Uh-huh.
You hire the guy.
Yeah, exactly.
That's who you're supposed to be.
Exactly. Yes.
I mean, it'd be interesting to see how many people told them no.
Yeah, I know.
Because I obviously you've seen a report, because that always flares up of Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
And I laughed it off.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Which meant, well, maybe Auburn's just garbage. Because the fact that when the Texas talk came up with Urban Meyer, I was like, maybe.
Yeah.
Because that's a program that I can see Urban Meyer going to and, hey, we're going to make this.
Yeah. And the one that really got to me, and when they were talking, after they had fired Malzahn, the one dude that really stuck in my head, a guy who's done it before, who's doing it now, I would have taken that $20 million check, wrote another one, and said, here, Mac Brown, go ahead and take that.
Yeah. You know where I would have went?
Where?
I don't think he wants to be in college.
Mm-hmm.
But I said, hey, Joe Brady.
Yeah.
Need a head coaching job?
Yeah, exactly.
This is a pretty good one.
You could have done anything. Those guys have proven that they can do it. You know what I'm saying? Like at high levels. The Mac Brown one really stands out because it's North Carolina at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? You took that job because one, you wanted to coach football again.
Right.
And they were giving you that offer. And you are in your late 60s, early 70s, and you completely changed your whole entire mindset of what college football is.
And here's that I would have been okay with that. Initially I would have backed you off on that just because of his age.
Yeah.
But then again, knowing Mac Brown of the, hey, Mac, we think you got 4 years.
Yeah.
We need you to build this culture.
Uh-huh.
And then find the guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like, be like the Urban Meyer thing of, hey, here's Ryan Day. He's your guy.
And I struggle to not understand why more colleges don't have that. And I understand everybody kind of wants that head coaching gig, so it's really hard for a coordinator or somebody to stay as long as that. But Malzahn was there for a long time, and you never really saw his coaching tree go anywhere.
No.
And you're telling me you didn't have somebody there already? Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I have a hard time with that, too.
And I think that got away from the wayside because there's always these coaches in waiting.
Yeah.
And then the head coach never fucking leaves.
Yeah.
Like Bob Stoops.
Mm-hmm.
Stoops.
Yeah.
That
he
worked
left.
out okay with Lincoln Riley.
Yeah.
We don't really know on Ryan Day yet. He can recruit like a motherfucker.
Yeah,
we know that. So far, that's working out okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, that the one that gets me, assistant coach-wise, Clemson.
Yeah, Venables.
Why has he not left yet? What is that deal?
I have heard, and just from my buddy who is around college football and all
that
this
he
stuff.
swings with Dabo and his wife?
No, I haven't heard that.
Oh, you didn't hear that? Okay.
He is one of the biggest fucking assholes
I can see that
there is. That nobody, like, he's a wonderful coach, and they said that, like, Dabo just lets him do his thing.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like, he's just, you do your thing, I'll do my, like one of those situations. Because
so it's like it's a real split coach of
kind of,
you're the defensive guy.
Yeah,
I'll be over here, even though he played defense.
Yeah.
No, or was he a receiver?
He was a receiver.
Yeah.
But I think that's the way that it was kind of explained to me, is like, this guy's an asshole, and
this is the only place he can get.
Kind of. And because they said that he has turned down interviews for head coaching jobs. And seriously, and he was like, seriously, I haven't met anybody who has nice things to say about. They say he's a wonderful coach, obviously, but he's like, he's just not a personable guy. He's not anything like that, you know. So I think that has something to do with it. He's probably not real good in an interview. Yeah. He's probably kind of a prick. So
yeah, well, that'd be the only thing is that he's an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it wasn't that, he'd be the only person in history that didn't want more money.
Exactly.
That, you know what, I'm okay with $3 million.
Yeah.
Or 2 or whatever.
2, yeah. And for, you look at Larry Johnson, some people are just okay doing what they do.
Well, and they have to keep talking him in because he's like, I'm kind of wanting to retire.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, come on, Larry.
Come on. Just do the defensive line.
We got this other crop of defensive ends coming in.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the biggest glaring thing with Ohio State's defense is they have no pass rush. When you don't have the Bosas and the Chase Young, the cornerbacks of like, we got to do 3.5 seconds.
Exactly.
Well, that's a fucking problem.
They push the pocket well. They don't get off blocks well. I mean, the two interior defensive line, that Togalai, or how you say his last name, and the Haskell Garrett, they push the pocket well.
Right.
Which
is their job.
It's their job, but they can't get off a block.
Yeah.
They really have to. I mean, that's what they struggle with. And then the
blitzes are terrible. They just run right into the guard.
It looks like when Marcus Freeman was there. That's how he blitzed.
It's like, well, we're going to blitz the middle backer, but don't worry, he's going to run right into the guard and not get off the block.
Exactly. He's not even going to put.
We're just going to take a defender out of the mix here.
Pretty much. But they, that number 11, I can't remember his name. He came off the bench last week and had a spark.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Had a spark, but it's just like, there's just nothing there. Consistent, I should say. Yeah. There's nothing consistently there.
And I've never been a Combs fan anyways.
I don't like the way he does things.
It was a big deal when Halfley left for Boston College. That was a big fucking deal.
I would say that Day needs to have that hard talk with him is, hey, we want you to stay, maybe. You're going to stay because you do recruit well.
Yeah.
But you're not going to be the defensive coordinator anymore. Yeah,
because it sucks.
Because it's not good. And they got a guy that coaches on the defense that has had one hell of a career calling a defense.
Yeah.
And he's from Michigan.
Yeah.
Greg Madison has done a well job of it in his past.
Yeah.
Maybe ask him. Maybe him. Maybe he could do it. Yeah. Maybe that defensive line guy that's, really good at doing that. Good. Maybe let him do that. Maybe Al Washington could maybe throw some little mix in there.
Little thought.
Somebody other than him. I don't like really the way he coaches his DBs.
No. Because they get torched.
Yes. And because they don't turn and look for the fucking ball.
I know we're very Ohio State heavy this week, but I just had a lot of shit that just keeps plowing into my mind.
Yeah.
The Sean Wade thing.
Uh-huh.
Dude. If he's your lockdown guy, why is he giving a 15-yard cushion and just giving up 10 passes with no...
I know.
Like, it's just... Hey, run to 10 yards down the field and turn around. I'm going to throw it to you. Because he's 15 yards away and backpedaling.
Yeah.
Is that guy that fucking fast? Because it doesn't seem like it.
Yeah.
But that's the defense they run.
And it's, you look at defensive coordinators now. I watched Nick Saban absolutely rip his defensive coordinator last week, and it was awesome to see. But anyway, Alabama, Clemson, Cincinnati, Iowa State, they switch up their coverages.
Yeah.
Often.
Yeah.
Often. Now, they may go 2 plays in a row that it's the same coverage, but at the end, it's still college. But there's no 2-man under. There's no, cover 12. There's nothing that is being switched up. It's like man and cover 2 or cover 4. It's like, okay, switch it up sometimes.
Well, and with those guys, like it's on a 3rd and 10, it's shocking when somebody gets a first down on them. With Ohio State, it's almost expected that they're going to, because they're going to play 15 yards off. You're going to run a 10-yard in, and there you go, wide open.
Yeah. So I have an issue with that too, and you know, who knows? But something needs to be switched with that too.
I just don't have a good feeling about next week. I guess that's just where it goes.
I don't either. Yeah.
But yeah, on the coaching thing, I'd like to see how many people turn that job down. Plus, I'd like to look into, did they hire the coach or did they hire a firm to hire the coach? Yeah. I'm going to guess they hired a firm.
Yeah, I don't like that. Like
this is the guy.
Yeah.
Is it? What the fuck does your athletic director do?
Yeah,
and I'm sure he's got a guy that's just kind of over football.
Yeah.
Kind of their job to do that.
Yeah.
Because they're not making millions of dollars a year to oversee the basketball and other sports programs.
Exactly.
They're there for football.
Football, yeah. That's kind of it.
Kind of what they do.
Yeah. So, I mean, at the end of the day, we're going to see Alabama and Clemson in the finals, and you know, hopefully that's a good game. So
yeah, it won't be.
It won't be. It won't be. I think it would be an ass whooping either way. I could see it going either way.
I could see Alabama fucking up that defense with their run game and then starting to gash them.
Yeah.
Because that's the other thing, like what Dabo said with having Venables, talking about that. If he only played 6 games, they would get torched in the playoff.
Yeah.
Because it takes so long for them to get good with that defense because there's so much shit. And, you know, they fucking lose guys in the NFL every year.
Exactly. So you got, we
got to get this together. We got to, you know.
Yeah. And I can see it going with, you know, you talk about Alabama doing that. I can see it going the other way because Alabama has given up a ton of passing yards this year.
Oh, yeah.
So Trevor Lawrence with those skill players and all this
vulnerable
and that.
at the passing game.
Exactly.
Kyle Trask, not as good as Trevor Lawrence.
No. And he was
close.
dropping dimes to people and just slinging all over the field. So, you know, that's why I said I can see it going either way.
That brought this up of a buddy of mine, Notre Dame fan, but it, you know, doesn't follow
hard.
like we do.
Yeah.
But he's like, man, they got ass stomped. I'm like, well, I said ass stomped. That's not how he talks. That's how I talk about football. It's like, yeah. He goes, boy, the way they were throwing it on him, I didn't expect that. It's like, really?
You know,
it's like, because those 3 receivers are all first round fucking picks.
And that guy that's throwing them the ball, he's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
But those 3 first rounders there, if you don't have 2 first rounded defensive linemen and your back's got a guard for 3 seconds, you got a problem.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is.
And, you know, talking about Trevor Lawrence with that, I think me and Dabo have the kind of same feeling on that. Give the fucker the Heisman.
Yeah.
Give him the Heisman.
That's the biggest thing, the biggest flaw in Heisman. One, that it's just became a quarterback thing.
Yeah.
Which sucks because if you're not giving it to him, it's got to go
to Najee Harris?
No.
The Alabama running back?
No, it's got to go to the receiver.
Clemson's receiver or Alabama's receiver?
Alabama's receiver.
Oh, okay.
Got to go to him.
Okay.
Just has to.
Okay.
No question.
All right, sorry.
But, you know, don't give it to another quarterback. If it's not Trevor Lawrence, it can't be another quarterback because there's not another quarterback better than him.
Yep.
There's just not.
And I would say, but is this Trevor's 3rd year or 4th year?
3rd.
In the 3 years that he's played, there's only one season where he didn't deserve to be the Heisman winner. And that was last year.
And that's only because it was a season nobody had ever seen before from Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
So
that the guy needs one. It's actually a disgrace to college football if he doesn't get one because he has been the best player in college football for 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
For 3 years.
No question. And that's getting back to that's the Heisman's problem of so the can't miss prospects that always do well in the NFL that never won a fucking Peyton Manning couldn't win a Heisman.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Are you shitting me? He was talked about for decades.
Yeah.
Since he was 6 years old.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't win a Heisman though.
No.
All right. Well, you know, pretty fucking good.
It's not splashy.
Pretty
they
fucking
always want to
good.
get the splashiness going. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
that's all I got with college football.
Yeah, I'm done with college football. It's almost over anyways. Just be a disappointing talk next week. Well, not even next week. Well, because we got to break the fucking games down.
Yeah, I know.
And then make picks, which we kind of already have.
Yeah.
And then the week after about, you know, how Ohio State got thumped and how fucking Notre Dame gave up 100.
That'd be a fun conversation to have.
And it's going to be a thing, too, that we're going to come out with all this shit next week, and then we're going to go through it, and then Notre Dame's going to upset Alabama. And then Ohio State somehow ass stomps fucking Clemson. Like Trevor Lawrence throws 5 interceptions somehow to a bunch of defensive backs that can't catch.
It's gonna be crazy. Crazy, wild.
Well, we didn't make picks last week, so we didn't have a podcast out last week.
Yeah.
So I'm sure the people who normally ask you know why, so we don't need to talk about that unless you want to.
No,
so
we don't have to talk about that.
I didn't figure that was something you wanted to talk about.
We don't have to talk about
I understand your penis is better.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's better now. We're good. Yeah.
The week before, I didn't bring my
it's fine.
My notepad. The week before, I think you went 3-2. I went 2-3.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you're still making money. I lost a little money.
I lost a little money. I won. Was it 55 or what? I was in the 50s for last week's games, though.
Yeah.
Last Sunday's, or I should say this past Sunday's games with FanDuel. So,
dude,
Jalen Hurts. I went with we always talk about the guys who win always pick some random fucking quarterback, and I went with the Jalen Hurts train, and that's how I won.
Yeah.
I was like tied at 18, I think, and then Philly played, and it just bumped me up.
Yeah.
So I went with that. I
think I got like $2 back. It was a bad week. And then on Monday, I'm like, fucking Steelers. I know they're garbage.
Yeah.
So, you pick the single game, you only have 5 fucking players.
Yep. Did you pick one Bengal?
Mostly.
Yeah.
And then I had one where I put 2 Bengals in.
Yeah. You win that one?
Yeah, I won $8 on that one. Because one of them was Giovanni Bernard.
Yeah, and he had a good game.
And I think when Snead, I think I had him at MVP.
Okay.
Snead, at the 1.5.
He plays for the Ravens.
Or
T. Higgins?
No, I'm talking about the running back for the fucking Steelers.
Oh, Connor?
Nope.
Snell?
Benny
Snell.
Starts with an S and an N.
Yeah, gotcha.
Same fucking guy.
Yeah.
I had him at my MVP, so that helped. And then I had Giovanni Bernard, and then I maybe had Higgins. Did he have a touchdown?
I think so. Yeah.
So I got that, and I snuck in there, and I think I was just doing dollar entries, so I had like five entries in it, and that got me my money back.
Nice.
It was like everything else was because obviously I didn't stay up and watch that game because who's going to watch that game? I heard it was a disaster with the Muppet shit.
Yeah.
Fucking Disney. Stop pushing your shit.
Mm-hmm.
But it's football.
Yeah, exactly.
But just no fucking way.
Yeah.
And then I wake up and I see that I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me.
Yeah.
What is happening in Pittsburgh?
They're soft.
Yeah.
They're soft.
Yeah.
There's no running game. There's no nothing. When Ben has to throw the ball, we've already talked about this earlier in the year.
Yeah.
When he has to throw the ball 40 plus times a game, they fucking lose. He's had to do that the last 3 weeks because there's no running game. The offensive line is trash. They can pass block, give them that, but there's nothing in the run game. There's no. It's literally like, oh, okay, we're going to run a little trap game here every time they run the ball. There's no zone. There's no nothing. It's literally a trap or like a quick toss or a dive.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no motion. There's no misdirection. There's nothing going on. It takes an average linebacker to be like, oh yeah, they're running it here.
And the fact you can't run on the Bengals?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Now, I could have got behind Washington's defensive line a few weeks ago. They're good.
Hey,
they're
that's
good.
The only thing.
They have 5 and 4 defense number 1 picks that they rotate on that defensive line. I get it. They're pretty decent. But the other games that they've lost, not that good up front.
Yeah.
Not that good up front.
And I get to the point with their defense because they got a good defense.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, early in the year, they were getting some picks and stuff like that. Just hadn't happened lately.
Yeah. Well, when you lose Bud Dupree, too, you're only double teaming TJ Watt. You're doubling him now.
And get used to it, Steelers fans, because you ain't ever getting him back. Because he's on a contract year.
Exactly.
And he's a $20 million defensive lineman.
Yeah.
And you're only going to give TJ that money.
Exactly.
So he's not going to be in pit unless for some reason he decides he hates money.
He's franchise tagged now, so maybe he'll do it again.
Well, he doesn't really have a choice.
Yeah.
But, I mean.
No, you're right.
Well, my guess is being franchise tagged and getting injured, not signing that tag, I just won't fucking play.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you have to.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he's a $20 million guy.
Yeah.
When you look at what pass rushers, top-end pass rushers are making right now, That's
my favorite part about he has a really good story because everybody thought he was a bust coming out of Kentucky, and he's really came on these last 3 years, man. So, I mean, he's earned his money. I'll give him that. Yeah. He's earned his money.
But where I see them with their defense, obviously without him, it's a fucking problem.
It is.
But they're still good.
Uh-huh.
I see them kind of how I see the Bears of like midway through that game just coming to the side and going, hey, what the fuck, guys?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, we're done.
Uh-huh.
All right, we're done.
Yeah.
We're giving up. I mean, if you guys can't score.
We're on the field every other minute. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. The one I did see on a gambling show I watched, they didn't want to pick that game just because the point spread was like fucking 14.
Yeah.
It's a tough game to pick unless you just thought the Bengals were good and then obviously take that.
Yeah.
But the best bet was it wouldn't have won you a lot of money, but it was a prop bet on FanDuel of first drive of the game would end in a punt.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's like, that's kind of a lock.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's Steelers.
Ooh, yeah. Did you see the new Haskins thing that came out today?
The strip club? Without a mask?
Without a mask?
Come on, man.
Dude, what are you doing? You just got
his career.
You just got another opportunity to start.
Of which you didn't look good.
No, you did not look good. And now you do that?
Yeah.
That's what you do after that? After the coaching staff finally now again trusts you enough to start you because everybody else is hurt.
Yeah.
And then you go and do that.
Yeah.
What the fuck? And then whatever this means, they took his
captain.
They removed him as a captain.
For sure should have.
Yeah.
He should have never been one. I don't understand how he was a captain in the first place.
I don't either.
There's no fucking way that the players voted it.
Yeah.
Which meant Ron Rivera gave him that C.
Pretty much.
That's the only way that happens. And he didn't like him.
Yeah, so I don't know.
But I think that was more of we're trying to rally the troops here.
Kind of, yeah. I just don't get that.
That goes back to, and I told you that about listening to Lombardi talk about that, of the kid showed up late.
Yep.
Asked me for help. We set up a meeting, and then he no-showed me. Mm-hmm. That's who Dwayne Haskins is.
Yeah. Not a good dude.
Never going to play in the league again.
He's not.
He's going to get out of, he'll beat around.
He'll finish out his contract. He'll be back in
Columbus trying to make money on the radio.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Because
that's what
you all the talent in the world, but you're a child.
Yep.
And not saying, hey, nothing wrong with strip clubs.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing wrong at all.
No.
Read the room, pal. Read the room. For sure, put a fucking mask on.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the NFL.
Yeah.
And if you don't wear your mask in the facility with people that are getting fucking tested, they sit you down.
Yeah.
They're not fucking around. To have that thought process and to even try to make that argument, I think the NFL's been very upfront that they are not fucking around with the mask thing.
Exactly. Look at what happened in Denver.
Whether you agree or disagree,
exactly,
they're going to hammer you.
Okay, so the COVID thing, it's a big deal. You can sit, you're not going to play, all this and that. The only thing you have to do is stay at home or wear a mask when you go out.
That's it.
You have 52 other players that you may give it to.
That are better than you.
That you may give it to. That's going to cost them, games. It's going to cost maybe contracts, depending on if it's a contract year. If a couple of them miss game. I mean, I look at Ryan Kerrigan because he's on his contract year up. If he misses a game, is he going to get paid next year when he is a free agent again? Is it, he missed a couple games, that hurts his stock. Yeah. Think about fucking somebody else. Jesus, man.
That
has been the whole thing that they've talked about all year is the players are just going to have to isolate when they go home. That's what it's been talked about all year. All year. Other people have families and stuff.
It's coming up to Christmas, and we're still playing NFL football heading into the playoffs of a great fucking season.
Uh-huh.
Been awesome to watch this year. And playoffs are going to be, outside of the Chiefs, but it's fucking
it's gonna
good
be good.
shit
it's
coming
be
into
good
the
stuff
playoffs.
Coming, yeah.
Of just Haskins. Of two people in the NFL that you got to sit beside in your room, he has one of the best two.
Yeah.
And the other one's Fitzmagic down in fucking for the Dolphins. If there's another quarterback, him and Alex Smith are the best guys to be sitting beside. Yeah. And I got to assume, and even though I don't think that he's a cursor, I think he's a godly man.
Yeah.
That Alex Smith's like, hey, man, we're fucking done.
Yeah.
If you can't get it together,
yeah,
you're playing for your future right now.
Uh-huh.
And I understand you want to go out and have fun.
Yeah.
But no, we just lost. And I understand the NFL. I know fans get all pissed off and shit like that about going out and getting groceries, 2 days after you lost. I'm like, well, we're on the next fucking game.
Yeah.
And I got to have food in the house.
Yeah. So get over it.
Get over it.
Yeah.
But read the room. They don't want you on the team.
Uh-huh.
You're not interviewing for your job with the football team.
Yeah.
Weird to say that because I almost let the other one slip. You're interviewing for other franchises right now.
Exactly.
And a Bill Belichick that might have gave you a shot to come sign on his practice squad or something like that and try to work with you.
Mm-hmm. Definitely isn't now.
Mainly because him and Urban Meyer are really good friends.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to see that and go, no. Why the fuck would I do that?
Exactly.
This guy can't. He lucked back into his job and can't take it serious enough to not even put his team at risk.
Exactly.
You're not a leader.
No, you're not. Like you said, he's a child.
Yeah. And, he'll sign a couple more contracts, but there'll be those little show contracts, vet minimum by the time he's outside of his rookie contract, which I'm sure is going to get bought out and cut after.
Very soon. Yeah.
Well.
In 2 weeks.
I don't know.
3 weeks.
Man, cutting him after year 2's tough. I think, cap hit wise, especially if the cap's going to move a little bit.
Yeah.
Might have to, if you're going to hang on to Alex Smith. But then again, where they're at, I mean, there's going to be quarterbacks available.
I mean, is there? They're at 6 wins. So that puts them into.
The bad thing is they're going to pick better. They're going to make the playoffs.
Washington, you think?
Well, they're in right now.
Oh, are they? I didn't know.
Yeah, they're leading their division. I mean, it's the NFC East.
Yeah,
so
you're right. Sorry, they're going to go 8.
Going to get a home game.
Yeah.
The funny thing is they're going to be a playoff team hosting a game, having a better draft pick than guys that missed the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because there's a scenario where the Browns win 11 games, not make playoffs. How fucking shitty would that be?
Yeah, that'd be bad.
I'm not a Browns fan. I think it'd be fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I know. To have this year and then...
You just like, hey, we got 11 fucking wins and make the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, they had 10 wins about 10 years ago, 13 years ago, and didn't make the playoffs. So.
Well, if you recall, I think the last time the Patriots missed the playoffs, they had 11 wins.
Yeah.
That year that Brady ripped his knee up.
Yeah, Matt Castle was the quarterback.
I thought it... Was it Castle? I thought it was
Matt
Garoppolo.
Castle. No, it was Matt Castle.
Oh, it was a long time ago. Like 2011.
Something like that.
Yeah.
2008, because it's been 11 years.
Has it?
Yeah.
111 games didn't make the playoffs. That's a fucking Patriots. So the Browns, the fact that you got 11 wins, celebrate that. But if you get left out of the... Now, granted, the way the Steelers are going, that week 17 matchup, you go beat the Steelers, you win the fucking division.
Yeah. You get home game.
I mean, you got to win out, and the Steelers need to drop
one more.
Which I don't know who they play next week. Somebody that can beat them.
Well, this week they play the Colts, so they may lose that one.
Oh, I don't know any way. Now, me saying this, I don't see any way right now at the current time that the Steelers can beat the fucking Colts.
I'm with you.
Now, granted, they'll probably beat the shit out of them now because I said that.
Phillip Rivers will throw 9 picks. Yeah.
He'll do a Phillip Rivers thing.
Exactly, and fuck up.
They bring the supercharger in here and show you how we would get ran out of the playoffs. Yeah, that's fucking Dwayne Haskins. That's how we get there. Dude, I don't know what it's like listening to this podcast because it's tough. It's tough keeping up with just me, you, in this room.
Yeah, I know it.
Of like what were we fucking talking about? Like 9 minutes ago when we went off in this tangent into a different direction.
Yeah.
Must be tough. Loyal fans.
Thank you for listening
to this fucking shit show.
We are just in a whirlwind of topics.
Yeah. We've talked about literally 2 teams in the NFL, and we moved on from college football fucking, 15 minutes ago.
Oh, God.
And only started out with the Monday night game.
Yeah. Yeah. There's not a lot to talk about with the NFL because everything's kind of playing out how we kind of think. I know that the Browns we just really talked about the Browns and how they may not make the playoffs, but it seems like everybody else is kind of just doing their thing, and the Steelers are really, kind of really setting their own fate here,
Yeah. I mean, like, you talked about here's one that I didn't get.
Mm-hmm.
It came out like it was breaking fucking news.
Yeah.
of report. Carson Wentz not happy being a backup.
Yeah,
no
well,
fucking shit.
Yeah, I know. I saw that one too. I was like, well, why would he be? He's been a starter the last 4 years.
It was headlined like that's a story.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he's being a bad teammate. He doesn't want to be
No, that's not it at all.
No.
The guy wants
starting
to start.
quarterback. And then, honestly, because I've watched, now, I mean, I'm a game flipper.
Yeah, me too.
But I've watched bulk of both of these games with Hurts and watched games with Wentz.
Yeah.
Totally different offensive strategy. Now, I understand Jalen Hurts' runner. But I'm talking about when they're not I mean, they're calling some fucking plays. And when Carson Wentz is in there, it's just like,
yeah.
Try throwing it.
Exactly.
I mean, it's like,
what are you
seems
doing
like,
here? What did I say before the season started? Do you remember what I said about that?
No.
Oh.
I said but I lied.
I said Doug Peterson was on the Chiefs
yeah.
when they drafted Mahomes and kicked out Alex Smith.
Yeah.
I said that at the end of the year, I guarantee that Hurts is the starter going into next season. Now, it happened a little earlier than what I predicted, but I don't think he has an issue with doing this because if something's not working, I feel like he's okay with just go ahead and switching it and taking the chance on it.
Well, that's the...
And I'm not saying Hurts is going to be Patrick Mahomes by any means. It's just the same scenario.
No, he'll, they'll figure him out. They got game tape. He'll,
Yeah.
Well, he's going to, at some point in time, now granted, you played New Orleans with Taysom Hill, and for some reason, you played New Orleans, who's a super fantastically good defense.
Yeah.
That apparently their defensive coordinator had no idea that Jalen Hurts was probably going to run the ball.
I know, it didn't make any sense.
They weren't going to rely on the pass.
Yeah.
I feel like other teams are going to see that coming.
Yeah.
And then, they're going to get into a team where it's like, where they just jump up, hey, it's 10-0, 14-0 of like, all right, Jalen, why don't you drop back and pass? Because we don't think you're going to run it into this.
Exactly.
You're not catching us running the ball. Then you're going to see what he's got.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he played from behind all last week and did okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
but it's also
but there's also no
fucking Cardinals.
I get it, but there's also no pressure on him either.
Right.
I mean, you go back and be a backup again? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm a rookie second round pick.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm an overstretched second round pick.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my problem is I think I'd heard Lombardi say that too, of like talking about, is he safe there with this coaching job?
Yeah.
Because he said, if I'm the GM there, here's the conversation I got to have. Because
is it Wentz?
We can't move this contract. Can't fucking happen.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people say, well, maybe he'll end up in Indy.
Yeah.
Indianapolis isn't taking on a $100 million guarantee quarterback for a guy that you guys think is broken. And no other team in the NFL is doing that unless you're eating all the fucking contract.
Exactly.
Which you wouldn't be trying to move off of it if you were going to eat it. So the thought was bringing him into the office. What's the problem with him?
Yep.
Can you fix him? If the answer is no, you're no longer our coach.
Yeah. Well, that's
because this is the guy we have right now.
Yeah, and it's another question is it Peterson or is it Wentz? Is it what he's doing or is it what Wentz? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's the conversation too. I mean,
because I know people, and Philly fans get a little overreacty from time to time.
No, not them.
Just a touch.
Not them.
You have to wait it out because 2 games, that's still that initial burst of, hey, we get a little spark.
Yep.
Kind of like a coach firing. Hey, coach got fired. Team plays well the next week.
Yep.
And then they revert back to being pieces of shit.
No, you're right. It's how it goes.
So you got to get past this. And plus, now granted, they play, New Orleans a week later, and it's not Taysom Hill and Drew Brees. Different fucking story.
For sure.
Drew Brees, the noodle fucking arm, man. He is throwing a fucking brick.
Yeah.
And I know people are going to, well, he had a 50-yard bomb. I don't care. I watched that whole fucking game.
It was a good game. Fun game.
It looked like,
fun game to watch.
He had nothing on a lot of those passes.
No,
but fucking nothing.
But when they were making that last drive, they didn't need to throw the ball down the field.
I understand.
So that's what I understand what you're saying in noodle arm, and I'm agreeing with you that he is not throwing the ball well down the field.
No.
But when have they ever really done that other when Ted Ginn was there?
And I'm not saying down the field.
I know.
I'm saying on a crossing route.
Oh, with a little ass
he's throwing
behind
at
it.
about 34 mile an hour.
Yeah.
I don't know what footballs
I know
really
what you're
fly
saying.
at.
Yes, a
I'm
slow
speaking
miles
in
per
a
hour.
baseball terms.
Yeah.
He's throwing a fucking floater out there.
I know what you're saying. There's no
And-
ass behind you.
yeah,
There's no whip. There's no nothing.
Hey, I need to get this motherfucker in there. Because in the playoffs, you kind of need to get that motherfucker in there.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe spit on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rub it around. But yeah, it's just obviously it's very apparent that he's not playing another year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't
and
imagine
I think it's
that.
also very apparent that Taysom Hill is not the answer.
Yeah.
Which the problem being is you should have played Jameis a little bit to see
what
if
it was
he
like.
was your fucking guy.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I hate to say this because I have a lot of respect for Sean Payton, but I honestly thought he just did it out of respect for Taysom Hill.
I think he did.
You know what I'm saying? Like he did all this time. He's listed as a quarterback. I think it was like, here, try it out.
I think when they signed that contract, even though they didn't need to, who was good? Taysom Hill wasn't signing as a quarterback anywhere else. You didn't need that fucking thing.
We've talked about this before. Taysom Hill is only Taysom Hill on one other team, and it's the Patriots.
Yeah.
That's the only other team that's going to do the same shit
and
that he's
really,
doing.
when you get there, you're Wes Welker.
Exactly.
I mean, at that point in time. But I think that was maybe a handshake deal of, hey, man, do this, keep doing this.
Yeah.
If Drew goes down,
it's you.
We're going to play you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's all I can see.
Yeah, me
but we
too.
have to have this guy on the roster because you're doing other shit. What if you get hurt?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah, exactly.
I get it.
Yeah.
For sure, not an NFL quarterback.
No. He's not. No, I'm good.
I seen you staring him down. I like the look.
I like the look, yeah. Didn't even put it in my mouth and talk
I
with
like
it.
the feel and the flavor.
You ready to make some picks this week?
No.
Because we got some stretched out games with, being Christmas weekend.
Yeah. Starts on Friday.
One on Christmas Day, and then we got
what time is that game?
4:30. And then, what was that dance?
I'm trying to think time frame wise what I got to do on Christmas.
I'll be watching it during my Christmas, so that'll be fun.
Well, yeah, but I got to, of where I'm at location
where you're
wise.
at location wise. Okay, gotcha.
Of,
And then we got 3 on Saturday, and then the rest obviously on Sunday and Monday. But yeah, fun stuff.
I do like the baller move from the NFL.
Yeah.
To use the pandemic to say, fuck you, we're playing on these days too.
Yeah, exactly.
Never do they play on
Christmas
Day.
Day.
They never play on a Friday.
No, and they never play on Christmas Day.
Never play on Christmas.
No,
because that's the NBA's day.
Yeah.
And this year, Roger Goodell's like, go fuck yourself.
Yep, sorry, Adam Silver.
Nobody cares about the NBA.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm. All right, you ready for this?
Although Kevin Durant scored a whole bunch of points in like 8 seconds at the beginning of the fucking game yesterday.
I couldn't believe how bad they fucking whomped him. I mean, I didn't think they were going to be bad. I don't think the Nets are going to be bad, but it's just like, Kevin Durant's kind of just back to himself.
Well, now I'll be real honest. I didn't see much of it. I just seen on the Twitter.
I watched
of what he did because I don't watch NBA games.
I watched the first half because it was the only thing on.
Not a loser.
Okay, sorry.
Here's the funny thing.
Did you misspell my name?
No. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. Okay. I'm going to explain it to the audience.
Okay.
I keep a notebook, and I jot, even though I didn't today, but I jot notes down during the show so I know what's kind of going on when I go to put this out there. When I type in the show notes and stuff that nobody reads.
Yeah.
But it's in there. But I make a little slash down the paper, and I put my name on one side and Seth on the other side, and I write the picks down so we know what happened. So, Seth, a couple weeks ago, I started misspelling your name.
Yeah.
Which I think people will remember that because you brought that up.
It's the easiest name to spell.
But what I started doing here is I wrote my name, and then I put the line down, and then I went to the other side and started writing my last name. Started writing my last name. Like,
this is Randy had this and Fraley. Oh shit! Damn it!
I just did it again.
Did you really?
I just went ST.
That's not my god. I'm not Steph.
Oh my god! Yes, it's so fucking tricky.
It's a little
your
kid,
name,
little kid with a speech impediment. Steph.
Yeah, Steph.
I shoot threes for the Warriors. I'm Steph. Oh god! All right, here's your first pick. You ready for it?
Fire away.
This is a good game here. Dolphins Raiders. Miami -3.
I'm going Miami all the way.
Cool.
Now here I got a question because they say it's not ruled out unless something's changed here in the last couple hours.
Okay.
It's not ruled out that what's his nuts plays.
Tua?
No.
Derek Carr?
Yeah, Derek Carr.
Yeah. He hurt his groin last...
Yeah, what the fuck happened? Because when you fuck your groin up, you sure as shit ain't playing the next week.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know what happened, or if they're just saying that because, Mariota looked all right.
Yeah, he didn't...
He actually looked like he wanted to play football, which is not how he looked last time we seen him on the field.
No, it did not.
So
yeah, good for him.
Yeah.
I mean, you lose to the Chargers, but it's fine.
Yeah. But maybe he gets him a job. And that's because you had to assume that Derek Carr's just done.
Yeah. Well, Mariota's the highest paid backup in the league.
Right. But with him with the groin thing, you think, groin, that's fucking months of you're done in LA. You're done in Vegas.
Yeah.
The way he pulled up, it was like, he ripped something.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, he might play this week. He was like, well, did his did his nuts just get snagged in a fucking dick hole of his fucking
jockstrap or something?
Not jockstrap. What do they call that? Body armor shit from Nike or whatever.
Yeah, give me a game. Come on, let's go.
Calm the fuck down. I'm trying to see through my...
I'm jittering over here.
Shit here.
Okay, trying to see through my shit.
All right. Man, I'm looking. Come on. I'm going to give you this one.
Okay.
Just because we didn't talk about this.
All right.
So I figured when I give you this pick, we can spend a little time talking about what happened.
Okay.
Browns minus 9.5 to the Jets.
Yeah, no. As soon as you said we didn't talk about this, I assumed that this was the Jets game.
Because we fucking glazed right over it.
One, they fucked up, and they may not get Trevor Lawrence now.
For sure aren't.
Yeah,
because they no longer have the first pick. The Jags do.
Yeah. So unless the Jags fuck up and win next week, win this week or whatever. But you know what? I'll take the Browns with the 9.5. I think. I just think that the way that they've been playing and the way that how they play football with running the ball and stuff like that they'll take care of business there.
I think you're correct on that, and I think it's the Browns leaving no fucking doubt. Like you cannot lose this. Like you have zero chance if you lose this game.
Yeah.
Like this is a must-win scenario.
I will tell you, when Stefanski was in Minnesota, I wasn't really sure about him because they brought in Gary Kubiak to kind of help him out, so it was like you didn't really trust him. He's probably getting, if I had a vote, he's probably getting my coach of the year.
They bought in.
They've bought into what they do, and everybody seems to enjoy it, and he seems to have actually a plan and a sequence of things that he likes to do, and they're doing it well. So hats off to him, because he's the first Browns coach that I've been alive to see to do that.
Yeah.
So,
but if you're a Cleveland fan, even though they're playing the fucking Jets, this is as close to a playoff game because it's a fucking playoff game. Oh, yeah,
it's a playoff. You cannot lose this game.
You cannot lose this game. And the Jets are hot.
Yep.
They're 1 in a row. But
they're 1 in a row.
Now here's the funny thing.
Yeah.
So the Jets win that game and fucking blow the Rams. I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah, the Rams had to come back to make it
that
close.
game. I'm like, What the hell is
the Rams came back to make it close?
Yeah.
Like it was like 20-3 at one point in time.
So they lose that game. Now they lose Trevor Lawrence to Jacksonville. So Jets players super happy because they're not the Browns and they're not Detroit.
Yeah.
And I think a Tampa team went defeated.
Yeah.
Back in the 70s or whatever.
Okay.
We're not going to count that shit.
Yeah. Okay.
Current era. They don't have to hear that. Coaching staff's happy. I mean, they're still all getting fired, but they got to win against a team that's pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah.
But the fans are pissed off. Ownership's got to be crying that they've lost Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
But here's the funny scenario that I would love to see happen. I would love to see the Jags win this week.
Okay.
So that puts the Jets back in
at the control.
Number one. And then I think the Jets play the Patriots the last game of the season.
They might.
Okay, so
yes, they do.
This scenario, Bill Belichick tanking the last game of the year to keep Trevor Lawrence out of fucking New York.
That's funny. That's a fun scenario.
How great
that would be funny.
If that played out that way and then the Jets end up beating the Patriots, you fucking know that's what happened.
Exactly.
Well, we're not in the playoffs. We're just trying guys out, so he's going to make the field.
Yep. All right. That's a good scenario, though. That's fun. That's fun to think about. All right, here's yours. And I will go with the team that the Jets just beat. Rams, Seahawks. Seahawks 1.5.
Taking the Seahawks.
Okay.
Seahawks getting or giving?
Getting they're minus 1.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's give you a game.
Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop.
Colts, Steelers. Colts are minus 1.5 at the Steelers.
You know
this
what?
is kind of a tough one to pick.
This is a tough one. You know, I'm probably going to go Steelers.
Steelers minus 1.5.
Yeah, Steelers plus 1.5.
Plus 1.5.
Plus
Sorry,
1.5.
plus 1.5.
I'm going to go with Steelers. I think that they turn around and get their shit together because they have to. Exactly. And they know that the Browns are on their heels, and I'm still a Tomlin fan, so I think he's going to get it together.
Yeah. I have a little bit of a problem with what's going on in Pittsburgh because the whole Juju thing.
Yeah.
Now, granted, that was fucking Vaughn.
Couldn't have, yeah.
I mean, ripped him up, especially because it made a big deal last week about the dancing.
Yeah.
Then he did it again. Then he got trumped right around the logo and fumbled the ball.
They had he came out today because I guess Tomlin said that they had a talk and stuff.
Said, we're going to talk to him of who? Shouldn't somebody on your team already have done that?
Yeah,
like
taking him, grabbed him, and put him up against the locker.
The fact that the coach is doing it is a fucking problem.
Yeah.
Now, granted, here's the biggest problem is usually that's a veteran move, and usually that's a veteran in your room.
Yeah.
He's the oldest guy on the team.
Exactly.
As far as wide receivers go. So, there you go.
Yeah.
And not to mention, not only the TikTok thing, which I don't give a fuck, and the players mostly don't give a fuck either, but it's just a bad look when you're playing bad.
When you're dancing on somebody else's logo, you have to beat those guys.
Here's the one up of that.
Yeah.
Not only is he doing it before the game and making a TikTok video, before he went out to make the TikTok video, he did an Instagram live on the field to tell people that he was going to make a TikTok video while warming up.
Oh, good.
Now granted that's pre warm ups.
Yeah.
But a lot of guys take that pretty fucking serious in the NFL.
Yeah.
So he's doing Instagram live to tell you that he's going to do his fuck around video of but on his point, stat given out outside of quarterbacks, top rated jersey seller in the NFL, Juju.
Oh, nice.
So making money.
So I will give you this game because it's a big game for the WFT. Washington and the Panthers. Washington minus 2.5.
I haven't looked at the over-under, but I'm going to guess under. Is going to be the over-under is probably going to be 35, 38, somewhere in there.
Let me look real fast.
Oh, no, 44.
No, 44.5.
Huh.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Panthers.
Okay.
Because I have to. I don't know how you take Washington.
Yeah.
Basically with a quarterback that the coach doesn't want in the game right now, but has no other choice.
It seems like if Alex Smith can hobble out there, he's going to be playing because Haskins is such a fucking shit show.
Yeah. So I'm taking the Panthers plus 1.5. The fact that Panthers are catching fucking points is crazy.
Mm-hmm. You're good. Yeah.
I had a shit-eating grin on my face, so you know where I'm going.
Go ahead.
Broncos plus 3 against the Chargers.
Chargers
minus 3 going against your team.
I did last time and they won. So
yeah, I know. You're doing the reverse. Hey, I'm gonna maybe don't bet this game because I'm just
trying to get it in Denver a win.
Which actually, if you're a real fan, you wouldn't want them to win. I
don't want them to draft. I don't want them to draft a quarterback or anything.
They need to because they don't have one.
They're not going. I don't want them to draft one. Is what I'm saying. I want them to get a new quarterback. I still want them to draft one because the guy in charge of doing that is really good at drafting other positions, not real good at drafting the QB position. So go get one in free agency or something it's the one that's already out there.
I'm going to tell you what, fucking Matthew Stafford's name is getting out there.
Mm-hmm. Well, Aaron Rodgers is helping that too, talking about him on McAfee's show like he is.
Well, he's fantastic.
Oh, he's wonderful.
He's been a fantastic quarterback, but it's kind of been, and I think we talked about this while all the Lions fans would be happy of like, hey, give this guy a fucking chance.
Exactly.
He's played through so much.
Yeah.
That's a good spot.
Yeah, it is.
Granted, McAfee, he's a high up of, Phil's probably not coming back. Maybe Stafford.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you put Stafford into Indianapolis,
yeah, that'd be dangerous.
You fucking got something going right there.
You do.
I've never been a Phil fan anyways.
Me either. I fucking hate his guts.
Yeah.
My turn to yours.
Fuck. Yeah.
Okay. Let's give you a shit show game. Eagles Cowboys.
I knew that's where you were going because I was just looking at it.
-2.5 Philly.
That is such a tough game to fucking pick.
It is.
The over-under's 50.
Really?
Yeah.
The Cowboys can't score that many points.
Yeah. Where are these points coming from? You know what? Just to make it a shit show,
okay,
I'm going to take the Cowboys
all right,
plus the 2.5.
Plus the 2.5.
That's such a fucking bullshit line.
It is.
But if they win that game,
and Washington
they're still
loses,
able to get into the playoffs.
Know
They're not
they're
fucking
not eliminated
dead
yet. Nope, not yet.
I mean, that'd be
something else.
That'd be something. Jerry Jones, I told you.
Andy Dalton was the guy.
We've been making the right decisions.
You sound like George Bush.
I don't need to sign that Dak.
Or
$40 million.
Bill Clinton.
$40 million. And Andy Dalton for 8. All right. Huh. I was going to say I was going to give you a shit show game, but I can't because there's no way Jacksonville would play hard enough to beat the Bears, even though I think the Bears suck.
Yeah.
If they played hard enough to beat the fucking Bears, I don't know,
Yeah, I know.
I think that coach, I don't know, is he getting shit canned or is he a new coach?
Marone? No, he's probably getting shit canned.
Yeah. That doesn't matter to him. Okay. Let's give you the Christmas Day. Vikings, Saints. Because I don't know what to do with the Saints right now.
Me either.
Plus 6.5 Vikings.
Okay.
Is with the number.
I'll take the Vikings with the points spread. Yeah, I think that the Saints could, kick a field goal to win. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, now I could be totally wrong. I don't see the Saints blowing anybody out. Not that a one touchdown game would be a blowout.
Mm-hmm.
But their defense has looked a little sketch these last couple weeks.
Yeah.
And I think mainly because I think Minnesota can run the ball enough to keep the score down, which means a 7-point victory is pretty tough in a low-scoring game.
Yep. Is that it, or we got one more?
One more.
Okay. I know where I would go in this game, but I'm very interested to see where you would go in this game. Titans Packers, Green Bay -3.5.
Green Bay minus the 3.5.
Okay. I would not take that.
Really?
Well, what we've talked about in the past of they can't stop the run,
right?
And the Titans being very good at running the football, controlling the clock and that stuff. Not saying that Aaron Rodgers can't put up points
right
that fast, but I'm going with kind of how the NFC Championship game went last year.
Yeah, I
and
understand.
They have a better running back in Tennessee. That's where my head is, and I would probably take the Titans in that situation.
I understand your thought process. Mine is Titans defense fucking garbage.
No, yeah, I'm with you on that.
And that'd
be
my of how much can you run?
Mm-hmm.
Because if it was a standard Derrick Henry game of it's a slow first half and then he beats the shit out of you in the second half, Titans are fucked.
Yeah, yeah,
because they can't.
Yeah, because you're going to be down two scores already.
I mean, fucking the Bengals blitzed them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Cincinnati Bengals put up huge numbers on them. I think Aaron Rodgers can.
Yeah.
So that my thought, you asked for my thought process on that. It's I think the Packers are going to win by a touchdown, but I think they get kind of like they've been doing. They kind of get out in front of people by 3 scores.
They kind of hang on
and then they kind of give up a late cover, which is probably what will happen to me, and I'll get beat on that by those fucking late covers. But that would be my thought process is Derrick Henry can't run that much because we're down multiple scores that we got to throw the ball.
Gotcha.
And I have no faith in the Packers defense. I mean, they could be a one-and-doner. I mean, honestly. Or they could go to the fucking Super Bowl. I mean, they're that team.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be shocked if they got beat round 1. Wouldn't be shocked if they went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. All right. What's my last game?
Your last game. Let's see. Here's one, and it shouldn't be, but it is.
Okay.
Buccaneers Lions.
Yeah, I saw that one. Tampa Bay minus 9.5.
9.5. Because the way Tampa's been playing, that 9.5 number is fucking bad.
Mm-hmm. And I
if
was
it was
thinking
10,
about that.
I couldn't have. I wouldn't have gave you that game to pick, but 9.5.
You know, part of me really wants to go Detroit. And every time, you know what? Fuck it, Detroit. Because I've picked the Buccaneers and they've shot myself in the foot many times with them. So yeah, go Detroit. I think they cover the 9.5.
I don't disagree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly for the fact of I don't know what the Bucs are.
Yeah.
And for some reason they've forgotten how to play defense.
Yeah, I know.
And they really don't cover.
No.
They get a lot of these late kind of things.
Yeah, for sure. I am with you.
Yeah, that's a that's why that 9.5 number is a good number there. Because at 10, 100% probably take Detroit.
Yeah.
Because at worst, you're just going to push and lose the juice. But,
yeah,
now saying that, they'll come out and fucking blitz them. But I don't know about that team.
They are a team that is questionable with what they do or what they try to do and all that shit.
That is just one of the weird things of, I'm such a huge fan of the NFL right now. Because it's just, like every game has been, even the shitty teams, when the shitty teams have been playing each other, they've been fucking interesting games.
I know they have.
But that the question is, I don't know what the odds are, but and I'm sure their odds are out there, is what are your odds on the field in the NFL right now?
Yeah.
I mean, probably pretty good.
Yeah.
Because who do you pick besides Kansas City?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't.
It's tough to choose because I think the NFC is one of the most wide open ones.
Yeah.
Because there's no real dominant force over there.
Right.
You have Green Bay, who puts up really decent numbers, but their defense gives up a ton of points.
Right.
You got the Saints, who may not have some of their best players. Drew Brees is kind of iffy.
Nobody
Defense
knows.
has been sketchy. And then you got fucking the Washington and the Vikings, the Buccaneers, all this, all these stuff. I'm like, what in the hell's going on?
Yeah, and that's on the AFC side, when you look at teams that are built to beat the Chiefs.
The Bills are the only one that comes to mind.
And Indianapolis.
Yeah, those two.
Those two teams. Bills, we'll see, Josh Allen.
Yeah, I mean, they've already played once.
And you got your ass stomped.
Yeah.
But Indianapolis, 100% can beat the Chiefs. 100% can.
Yeah.
But you get that honey badger back there and Phillip Rivers, like I can see a pick six kind of thing.
Exactly.
It's like I can see that of like, hey, we're controlling the game. Hey, Kansas City isn't doing well. And then boom, there it is. There's Phil. There's classic Phil.
Throwing a pick when you don't need him to. And yeah,
but
I'm with
then again,
the
Chiefs are just like, they just kind of fuck around and go like, hey, let's go score now.
Yeah, exactly.
And I've never seen that. It's like you can legitimately tell when they don't care, and then they just flip a switch and just boom, here we go.
Yep, it's crazy.
Okay,
it's crazy. Yeah, it's like you're just toying with them.
Yeah,
I'm
fucking intrigued.
Yep,
you can't bet on them either because they let everybody backdoor them.
Yep,
it's like if you took that bet, we were talking about the Bucs not covering, but during that game they beat the shit out of the Buccaneers. And then let off the gas and a couple touchdowns late, and all of a sudden, it's a 7-point game. The line was 7.5.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just
stupid shit like that.
Yeah, or it might have been 6 and 4 or whatever the fuck it was. But the Bucs never had a chance in that game. But they don't cover.
Yeah,
sons of bitches,
motherfuckers.
I wish they'd legalize that in this state so we could actually bet the games because I like the FanDuel, the daily fantasy stuff, but I'm not any good at it, and I know we don't have a chance.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if
it's just fun.
If you don't put 35,000 entries in, you're probably not gonna win.
Yeah,
and I'm not gonna research the weather and how this guy does when it's 47 degrees out with 57% humidity, and his left testicle's hanging lower. I don't know those stats.
Yeah, I don't know those stats either.
Apparently, somebody does because they pick somebody I've never heard about that ends up with 47 fucking points.
Fucking crazy.
Sons of bitches. I'm just trying to break even.
Yeah, I know.
It
I'm
ain't
just trying
working.
to get my money back.
It ain't working.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Well, man, have a good Christmas.
Have a good Christmas.
And all you people out there, be safe. Enjoy football. Yeah, watch the NBA if you have to. But NFL will be on.
Yep, watch that.
Do that.
It'll be way better.
And then we'll break down maybe the college football games next week and talk more nonsense.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
Whiteside.